What an adventure I've just had. I, Jenny, investigative journalist extraordinaire, have found myself in the most unlikely of places, a galaxy far, far away. One moment I was chasing a lead on a story, the next I was hurtling through space and time, landing in a bustling spaceport filled with aliens, droids, and spaceships. As I entered the fray, I couldn't help but notice a group of Stormtroopers marching through the crowd, pushing people aside. My journalist's instincts kicked in, and I approached them, notepad and pen at the ready. "Excuse me, gentlemen," I asked. "What seems to be the commotion?" The Stormtroopers looked at me with suspicion, their helmets gleaming in the bright lights of the spaceport. "Mind your own business, citizen," one of them growled. But I'm not one to be deterred. I persisted, asking more questions, trying to get to the bottom of whatever it was they were searching for. The Stormtroopers, however, were not interested in sharing information with a nosy journalist like myself. They brushed me off, and I was left to wonder what was really going on. Little did I know, my curiosity would soon land me in a stark interrogation room, facing off against a grim-faced Imperial officer. He leaned forward, eyeing me with suspicion, and I could sense the weight of the Empire's authority behind him. But I'm Jenny, and I don't intimidate easily. I sat defiantly, my notepad and pen still clutched in my hand, and answered his questions with a cleverness that seemed to fluster him. Before I knew it, I was being transmitted to the Rebel Alliance base, hidden in a remote asteroid field. Luke Skywalker and Leia Organa stood before me, their determination to bring down the Empire palpable. Luke explained that they needed someone with my skills to infiltrate the Imperial base, to gather information that could help them in their fight. I, of course, was more than happy to oblige. Disguised as a stormtrooper, I walked through the corridors of the Imperial base, trying to blend in while taking mental notes of everything I saw. It was a tense, nerve-wracking experience, but I knew it was all worth it if I could help the rebels. But then, I found myself face to face with the most intimidating figure in the galaxy, Darth Vader. His red lightsaber hummed ominously, and I could feel the fear rising up inside me. Yet, I stood my ground, using my wit and knowledge to distract him, to buy myself time. Somehow, I managed to escape, and my stolen data was used to target the Imperial defenses. I watched from afar as the rebels launched their attack, the Imperial base exploding in a blaze of fire and smoke. In the aftermath, I found myself back at the rebel base, catching my breath and reflecting on the incredible journey I'd been on. Luke approached me, a smile on his face. "Jenny, you were incredible," he said. "Your information turned the tide." I smiled, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. "Just doing my job, Luke," I replied. Though I have to admit, I never thought I'd be using a datapad instead of a notepad in the middle of a space battle. And then, in a flash of light, I was back in New York City, the familiar sights and sounds of my own world enveloping me once more. I stumbled out of the light, bewildered but determined. I clutched my datapad, a glint in my eye. One minute I'm facing Darth Vader, the next I'm back on Fifth Avenue, I thought to myself. Talk about a whirlwind adventure. But as I walked towards a nearby newspaper office, I knew that this was a story too big to ignore. I had to share my incredible tale with the world. And so I sat down at my desk, began to write, and let the words flow. For Jenny, investigative journalist, the adventure may be over, but the story has just begun.